Hi, and welcome back. Today's a really simple video. We're going to cover something that a lot of us needed to do, especially when you do things like contact or membership databases. And that is, how do we calculate the age of the member? This function that I'm going to show you, well, is one solution, can also be used to calculate the age between two dates. So it's not set in stone based on today's date necessarily. So it can have other applications if ever you need to calculate the age of between two specific points in time. So let's just take a glance at this. I have an article. You can go through it and you can basically just copy paste and just change the name of the field or the control that you're going to be using to get the values to do the calculation based off of. But as you're going to see, and what we're going to look at in 2 seconds in the demo database, is quite simply that there are basically two major approaches. And we can do it the query approach using an expression. And I give two different types of expressions that you can use. One is using the format, and the other is using date serial. Now, typically, using date serial is considered, I guess, better, quote unquote. However, by doing that, we're now having to implement several extra functions. So now we're doing a call the year, the month, the day. You get the general idea. Is it more efficient? That's very debatable. But just needless to say, you have two clear options here that can be copy-pasted very easily. And both will work just fine. Then we can take what I took this guy up here, and you can convert that over to a simple VBA function, which will output the same result, and you're good to go. And then I decided to push things a little further. So instead of just getting, 42 as a value, because this guy here only outputs a numeric value, same as these ones here, they just output a value. Sometimes we want something a little bit better, more textual, and that's where I pushed this VBA function a little further, and now it can output things like 42 years, 6 months, 42 years, 6 months, 12 days. So it all comes down to, which one do I use? It depends on what you are wanting to achieve. If you just need a number, well then, hey, just go with the simple expression or the simple function. If you want to supply to your user in your report, your form, a more detailed, more English version, and obviously this can be translated, well then, go with the more complex, quote unquote, more complete VBA function. And then I just give a couple examples how this all works. Okay, so let's just dive right into the demo database. This isn't rocket science. We have a simple table. I put some names, date of birth. So we can come here. We can create a query very quickly off of that table. We can come and we can take all the fields. And we can come back, I'm just going to give you a demonstration, but we can literally copy this guy here and drop it here and we can give it a name if we want, and we can do that, and we're off to the races. To prove the second one, we can do the same thing. Let's copy this guy here. And we can now put it here and go down, and we can come and we can say this is age 2. Oops. And run it. Notice something special there. Notice the difference between the first expression providing nothing and the second one giving an error. Now to get around that, and I implemented it with the initial function as well, just a best practice I suppose, but we can wrap it with an if is null first, and then decide if we want to return, if it's null, a null value, if we would just want to have an empty string. But we can get around that issue quite easily. And now we can come just with that simple wrapper around it to make sure that if it's null, give me back nothing. But notice here what's happening. We go from having a numeric to having a string. And that can cause problems depending on what you're trying to do. Versus if we leave it as a null rather than a string, now we have numeric values that we can technically manipulate through, through your mathematical different functions and procedures and whatever else calculations that you may want to do. So do keep in mind in both of these cases, if you are going to return a string, well then they're all strings, which may cause you headaches. If you instead return it as a null, well then it continues to be a numeric value that you can work with. Well, work with easily. Okay, so as you can see, this can be dropped into any query, can be dropped into any records or things like that with ease. Now, if we look at in the case of a form, I have my contact form. What I'm trying to achieve, as you're going to see, as we go to the next, remember the first entry has no date of birth. That's why we're seeing nothing. But now if we move on to the next one, as you can see, I am reading this and I'm outputting an age. So let's take a look at what I did. It'd be good if I was in design view. And I'm using, well, I provide it all on the on this right here. I'm using these three different expressions. And as you see, I'm applying that if is null. So if it's null, I'm not doing anything. So as you can see here, we're wrapping it. If it's null, I'm returning a string. In my case on the form, it makes no difference. This could just as easily be the null as I did above. And I'm using getAge. So I'm using this more advanced function. And I'm doing getAge, just plain getAge. But if I want to go get the months, well then I'm going to say null, and then I'm going to say true. I want the months. If we look here for a second, the first one is the date. The second one would be an override end date. If it isn't specified, then it's going to take the current date. So it will calculate the age as of today. Then it's, do we output the month's value? Do we output the day's value? So that's why if you come here, by default, they're false. So we don't need to do anything. But here we're saying the end date, we're just leaving it as null. And yes, output the months. So here, now we're getting the month value. Here we're saying, okay, output the months and output the days. So here's month, days. And that's exactly what I did here. If we look at each one of these very quickly, I do the default. I don't have to do anything because by default they are all false, so they won't display. All I get is the year. If I come here, now I'm doing the null true, right? So now I'm doing the end date as null. So we're using today's date for the calculation, and true, output the months. And then here, once again, same idea, but now we're going to have true, so month and day. And that's how easy it is to do. One thing to also note, if we look here, and I did this on purpose, just wanted to show to you that we don't even need to use an after update requery in this case by using the expression. Okay, so it will automatically update itself. If we open the form again and come here and we update the value, as soon as you go somewhere else, it automatically recalculated. So you can do this without any VBA code required in the form. Obviously, you do need the base function, right? Which is right here, which is the one that's on the article. I'll also just very briefly demonstrate why I have this end date. And this can be good for calculating the age of certain things that have, let's say, expired or been retired. It could be computers. There's all sorts of options here, reasons why you'd need it. But if we just quickly look here, we use the get date. We come and put the date, the initial date. So it can be anything you want. But let's say it's 2009, there we go. And if we do nothing else, Okay, if we do absolutely nothing else, it's going to calculate it based on today's date. Today, for me, is 6/30/2026. So if we were to do that, you get 17 years. But we can say and specify an end date. So let's just have fun here. And let's say it's 2025/06/30. Now we get 16 years. And obviously, I'm using the ISO date format. In reality, I should be using the American date format to avoid any issues. So there you go. And we can do here 6/30/2024. Now we're down to 15 years. And now we can come and we can now say, I want to see the number of months and I want to see the number of days. And there we go. And we can come here and we could say it's the 5th month on the 11th day. And there you go. It's 14 years, 10 months, and 11 days. So that's what that second input argument, the end date, is. If there's an end date beyond what is today, basically. So if you have a specific end date that you want to do the age calculation for. So this is the start to the end, and what is the age between those two dates? Well, now you can do it. If you omit this, if you put it as a string, if you put it as a null, it will simply calculate it as of today, which is what this guy, this guy here was doing. So if we come here, yeah, you'd get the same thing, right? Obviously. And you can also, like I said, I had the original simplified function. So if we uncomment it for 2 seconds, I'll have to rename it to not have a conflict. But if we do a get age, the original one, and we just calculate based on the start and end dates, just then you see the difference. You'll see you simply get 16. So 16. And if you put today's, you'll get the 17. And that's the big difference. Like I said, the initial function was just a numeric value, which suffices in most cases. But in those cases where you want to be a little bit more verbose for your users, you can use the more advanced function, and you can even specify if you output the months, the days, etc. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. I've covered this subject sufficiently. It is simple to implement. You can come on the article and simply copy paste and both the function or the expression, and then copy paste it into your form, into your query, and you're operational in seconds in reality. I hope this helps a few of you out there. Have a great day. Take care, everyone.